Imagine walking into a room and feeling an undeniable pull towards someone, not because of their words, not because they are trying to impress, but simply because they exist in a way that commands attention. They aren't the loudest voice, they aren't seeking approval, yet something about them makes you want to lean in, to understand them more. This is the power of presence. True attraction isn't about what you say, it's about the energy you bring into a space. Most people live in their heads. They walk through life consumed by thoughts of the past or anxieties about the future. When they engage in conversation, they are often waiting for their turn to speak rather than truly listening. But those who are silently attractive, they are fully present. When you talk to them, they aren't just hearing you, they are absorbing every word. They make you feel as though, in that moment, nothing else matters but the connection being created. That kind of presence is rare and it is magnetic. When someone is deeply present, they make others feel important. And there is nothing more attractive than feeling seen. You don't need to say much to make an impact. When you are truly there with someone, your energy does the talking. Your eyes, your body language, your focus, it all communicates something deeper than words ever could. This isn't about forcing yourself to be still, nor is it about trying to appear calm. It's about training yourself to live in the now. When you are grounded in the present moment, people feel safe around you. They trust you without knowing why. There is a deep unconscious pull toward those who radiate certainty and peace, because in a world full of distractions and superficial interactions, real presence is like oxygen. Think about the last time you were around someone who truly listened to you. Not just nodding along, not just waiting for their turn to speak, but actually giving you their full attention. It felt different, didn't it? You felt valued. You felt like what you were saying mattered. That feeling alone is enough to make someone unforgettable. And then there are those who lack presence, constantly checking their phones, mentally rehearsing what to say next, drifting off in thought. You can feel the difference instantly. No matter how intelligent or charming they may be, something is missing. You don't feel connected because their attention is fragmented. Silent attraction isn't about being mysterious in a way that feels distant. It's about making people feel something without trying. When you cultivate deep presence, you develop an aura that draws people in without effort. You walk into a room and instead of seeking attention, attention naturally finds you. This level of presence isn't something you can fake. It requires a shift in how you operate. It means slowing down, truly engaging with the moment, and letting go of the mental noise that keeps you disconnected. The most magnetic people understand that their power isn't in what they say, but in how they make others feel. Attraction, in its purest form, is energy. And the energy of presence is the rarest and most powerful kind. Most people go through life reacting. They react to criticism. They react to stress. They react to the opinions of others without ever pausing to ask themselves if those reactions serve them. They are easily pulled in different directions. Their emotions controlled by external forces. And because of that, they are predictable. But those who are truly attractive, those who carry a presence that demands attention without trying, they don't react, they respond. They have trained themselves to remain steady no matter what is happening around them. There is something undeniably magnetic about someone who refuses to be shaken by the chaos of life. When others are anxious, they remain calm. When others are seeking validation, they stand firm in their own worth. It's not that they don't feel emotions, they do, but they have mastered the ability to observe them rather than be consumed by them. And in that mastery, they gain something most people will never have: control over themselves. Attraction is not about perfection, it's about energy. And nothing is more attractive than the energy of someone who is deeply centered within themselves. When you meet someone like this, you can feel it. They don't get pulled into drama, they don't crumble under pressure, and they don't let the opinions of others dictate how they feel about themselves. Instead, they move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that no external force has power over their inner world. Think about the kind of people who make a lasting impact on you. It's rarely those who are emotionally unpredictable, who let their moods dictate their actions. It's the ones who remain steady, who don't need to prove anything, who can handle conflict without losing themselves in it. That kind of emotional mastery is rare, and that's why it's so attractive. Most people allow their emotions to run their lives. They take things personally, they lash out, they seek comfort in external validation, but the ones who are truly magnetic, they don't allow temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. They take a breath, they step back, they choose how they respond. That level of control doesn't just make you attractive, it makes you powerful. When you master your emotions, you become unpredictable in the best way. People don't know what will trigger you because nothing does. You don't give your power away so easily, and that makes you stand out. It makes others respect you even if they don't fully understand why. There's a reason why those with emotional mastery are naturally attractive. It's because they offer something rare: stability. In a world where most people are looking for someone to fix them, to validate them, to make them feel whole, those who are already whole within themselves are magnetic. They are the ones people want to be around, the ones who bring peace instead of chaos. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding them, observing them, learning from them rather than being controlled by them. When you can stand in the middle of a storm and remain steady, you become the kind of person who naturally draws others in, not by force, not by trying to impress, but simply by being the calm in a world full of noise. Attraction isn't about seeking attention. It's about becoming someone worth paying attention to. And the ones who don't let the world shake them, they are the ones who leave a lasting impression. There is something undeniably compelling about a person who doesn't reveal everything at once. They move differently, they speak with intention, they don't rush to explain themselves, and they don't seek approval through overexposure. Instead, they allow others to wonder, to lean in, to ask questions. This is the power of mystery, the quiet confidence that makes a person unforgettable without them ever having to force it. Most people feel the need to prove themselves. They overshare in an attempt to be understood. They give away too much too soon, thinking that transparency will make them more likable. But in doing so, they remove the very thing that makes them intriguing. There's no longer a reason to stay curious, no unanswered questions, no depth left to explore. But those who are truly magnetic, they understand that less is more. They let people uncover them in layers, revealing just enough to spark interest, but never too much to dissolve the allure. Mystery isn't about being distant or cold. It's about understanding that attraction thrives in curiosity. The moment something is fully known, it becomes ordinary. And ordinary is forgettable. But when someone carries an air of unpredictability, when they don't expose every thought, when they maintain a sense of self that isn't entirely accessible, they create a pull that others can't resist. Think about the most captivating people you've met. They weren't the ones who laid everything out on the table the moment you met them. They were the ones who made you want to know more, the ones who had a depth that couldn't be uncovered in a single conversation, the ones who held a presence that made you feel there was always more beneath the surface. That is silent attraction. Most people don't realize how powerful restraint is. The ability to hold back, to leave room for curiosity, is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can have. It doesn't mean being secretive. It means knowing that your presence alone is enough, that you don't need to explain yourself, that you don't need to overshare to be valued. Those who master this create an energy that draws people in naturally without effort. There is a reason why stories keep people engaged. It's not because they give away all the details at once. It's because they unfold over time. They leave room for anticipation, for discovery. And people are no different. The moment you stop feeling the need to be fully understood is the moment you become unforgettable. Silently attractive people don't seek to be an open book to everyone they meet. They let their actions speak louder than their words. They understand that mystery isn't about playing games, it's about self-respect. It's about knowing that not everyone is meant to have full access to you, and in that quiet confidence, they become the kind of person that lingers in the minds of others long after they've left the room. There is something undeniable about a person who respects themselves so deeply that they never have to demand it from others. They carry themselves differently. They don't chase approval, they don't beg for attention, and they don't compromise their values just to fit in. They know their worth, and because of that, others recognize it too. Silent attraction begins with unshakable self-respect. Most people don't realize how much energy they waste trying to be accepted. They say yes when they want to say no. They tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace. They shrink themselves to avoid making others uncomfortable, but in doing so, they give away the very thing that makes them powerful, their sense of self. And the moment you give that away, you become invisible. You blend into the background, becoming just another person willing to be molded by the expectations of others. But those who are silently attractive, they never let that happen. They protect their energy, they choose themselves, even when it's uncomfortable. You can feel it when someone respects themselves. It's in the way they walk, the way they speak, the way they handle situations that test their boundaries. They don't entertain nonsense. They don't tolerate disrespect. They don't explain themselves to those who are committed to misunderstanding them. They operate from a place of quiet confidence, knowing that their presence alone is enough. And that in itself is magnetic, is when you respect yourself, you send a message to the world about how you expect to be treated. People take notice. They sense that you're not easily influenced, that you don't bend to external pressure, that you have standards that are non-negotiable. And in a world where most people are willing to sacrifice their values just to feel accepted, that level of certainty is rare and it's attractive. Attraction isn't about trying to please everyone. It's about standing firm in who you are, knowing that the right people will recognize and respect it. When you move through life with unshakable self-respect, you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You simply exist in a way that commands admiration without seeking it. Think about the people who leave a lasting impact. They aren't the ones who constantly explain themselves, who bend over backward to be liked, who tolerate behavior that drains them. They are the ones who set boundaries and stick to them. The ones who say what they mean and mean what they say. The ones who don't allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. That kind of self-possession is unforgettable. Most people think attraction is about how you look, what you wear, or how charming you can be in conversation. But the truth is, none of that matters if you don't respect yourself. Without self-respect, everything else is surface level. People may notice you, but they won't remember you. They may admire you for a moment, but they won't feel drawn to you in a way that lasts. Because deep attraction isn't built on superficial qualities. It's built on energy, and nothing is more powerful than the energy of a person who knows their worth and refuses to accept anything less. Silently attractive people don't try to prove themselves. They don't chase validation. They simply embody the belief that they are enough. And because they believe it, the world reflects it back to them. They don't need to raise their voice to be heard. They don't need to demand respect because they already carry it within themselves. There is something undeniably magnetic about a person who moves with purpose. They don't wander aimlessly through life. waiting for circumstances to define them. They define themselves. They wake up with intention, knowing exactly where they're going, and because of that, they carry an energy that draws others in. They don't need to seek validation or prove their worth because their actions speak louder than words. Purpose is what makes a person unforgettable, and those who have it become naturally attractive without even trying. Most people drift through life reacting to whatever comes their way. They follow the crowd, unsure of what they truly want. Their energy is scattered, their focus unclear, and because of that, they blend in. But those with a strong sense of purpose, they stand out effortlessly. They don't waste time explaining themselves to people who don't understand them. They don't seek permission to pursue what matters to them. They simply act. And in doing so, they create a silent pull that others can't resist. There is something captivating about a person who knows why they do what they do. It's not just confidence, it's certainty. When you are around someone who has a mission, you can feel it. They don't get easily distracted, they don't engage in meaningless drama, and they don't waste energy on things that don't align with their vision. They operate at a different frequency, and that energy is contagious. Think about the people who inspire you the most. They aren't the ones who seek approval from everyone they meet. They are the ones who move with conviction, who know where they are headed, and who don't let fear dictate their choices. That kind of presence is powerful. It's not about arrogance, it's about clarity. And clarity is rare. Most people spend their time wondering what others think of them, trying to mold themselves into what society expects. But those who are truly magnetic, they don't waste time on that. They have a vision so clear that they don't need external validation. And because they don't need it, they naturally receive it. People are drawn to those who know where they're going because, deep down, everyone wants to feel that kind of certainty within themselves. When you move with purpose, you don't have to chase attention. Attention finds you. You don't have to force connections. The right people gravitate toward you. You don't have to prove anything because your actions speak for themselves. And that is why a strong sense of purpose is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. Purpose isn't about knowing every step of the journey. It's about being committed to something bigger than yourself. It's about waking up with the drive to keep moving forward even when obstacles appear. That kind of mindset changes the way you carry yourself. It changes the way you interact with the world. And the world responds to that energy in ways you could never force or fake. The most attractive people aren't necessarily the loudest or the most charismatic. They are the ones who know exactly why they do what they do, and that quiet certainty is more powerful than anything they could ever say. They don't just exist, they create. They don't just wait, they act. And in doing so, they become the kind of person that others can't help but admire, respect, and remember. There is a quiet power in someone who remains unshaken by the noise of the world. They don't feel the need to prove themselves, to explain every move, or to constantly seek approval. They understand that true strength comes from within, and because of that, they operate differently. They listen more than they speak, they observe more than they react, and they allow their presence to speak for itself. This kind of self-assurance is rare, and that's why it is so undeniably attractive. Most people live their lives seeking constant validation. They overshare in an attempt to be understood. They speak just to fill the silence, afraid that their quietness might be mistaken for weakness. But those who are truly magnetic, they embrace the power of silence. They don't rush to fill the space with unnecessary words. They understand that stillness carries a weight that noise never will. And because of that, when they do speak, people listen. There is something captivating about a person who is at peace with themselves. They don't need to be the loudest in the room to be noticed. Their confidence isn't forced, it's natural. They move through life with an ease that comes from knowing who they are. They don't chase attention, yet they receive it effortlessly. They don't demand respect, yet they command it without trying. It's not arrogance, it's presence. And presence is the kind of attraction that lingers. Think about the people who leave the strongest impressions on you. They aren't the ones who talk just to be heard. They are the ones who make every word count. They don't waste their energy on meaningless conversations or unnecessary drama. Instead, they choose their moments, and when they do, their words carry weight. That is the power of someone who understands that silence isn't emptiness, it's depth. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it, mistaking it for awkwardness. But those who are truly magnetic, they understand that silence can be one of the most powerful forms of communication. It shows confidence. It shows patience. It shows control. And in a world where most people are desperate to be heard, those who master the art of restraint stand out effortlessly. When you embrace the power of silence, you become unpredictable. People don't know what you're thinking, and that makes them curious. They don't know what will make you speak, and that makes them listen. You become a person of depth, someone who doesn't waste words, someone who values energy and presence over constant noise. And that kind of quiet strength is unforgettable. There is a reason why the most powerful people don't talk just to talk. They don't reveal everything. They don't let the world dictate their emotions. They hold themselves with an inner calm that is magnetic. And when they do speak, their words are intentional. That is what makes them stand apart. Silently attractive people understand that energy speaks louder than words. They don't have to explain their worth. They embody it. They don't have to announce their confidence. It's felt. And because they carry themselves with quiet strength, they become the kind of person that others can't help but admire, respect, and remember.